Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Heart Drop with Hmay and Natarsha. Today,
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Today we have a guest from BoomTV, Mazida. Welcome, our second guest of the show. Second
Happy
guest
to
of
be
the
here.
show. Thank you so much for coming on.
The goat of the tournament sites.
Literally the goat of the tournament side. So yeah, pretty much we just wanted to get to know you. You've been a really big, figure in the Warzone community, and you've done a lot of things for us personally, and we really just wanted to get your perspective on everything COD, everything tournament. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So do you want to just give us like a rundown on how you started with BoomTV and just COD in general?
So I've been with BoomTV now just about a year. Actually, my 1 year is going to be later this month with them. Previous to that, I did a lot of community stuff. So I was working with a brand known as Apex.pro. It was kind of like a scrim server. You could come look for players, et cetera, et cetera. And we ended up merging with BoomTV just through, mutual connections in the esports world. And I just kind of took a program I had a lot of, belief in, helped kind of execute that to the best of my ability. And that turned into running premium events and working with some of the largest influencers in the scene. And as for Call of Duty, I've always been a fan. I've played it since Call of Duty 2, not to date myself, but I'm a huge fan of the game. And when they dropped a BR mode, it was a no-brainer to, try and weasel my way into that tournament space.
Yeah. And I didn't even, 1 year. Only 1 year? I would have thought you've been there for
How long
has Warzone been out now?
So Verdansk has been out, 2 years and change before switching over to Caldera?
2 years already?
Wait,
Yeah, I remember playing the first Haunting event. That was absolutely one of my favorite LTMs of any game ever. And I think that was back in 2020.
Yeah, it would have been 2020.
With Caldera, has it been 2.5 years?
No, I would say 2 years maybe. Right? Can't be 2.5.
You guys got me questioning everything now. I don't think I've been playing that long.
No, it was definitely 2020. It was definitely 2020.
Yeah, no.
2020. Okay, so yes.
Maybe end of
just over a year. There we go.
Yeah,
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was.
I think it's a year and a half.
It's been out forever.
It's been out forever. It actually has.
A year and a half.
Damn, that's actually insane. But that's pretty cool that you've been with BoomTV for about a year and you were doing stuff beforehand. It really goes to show though, because you're really good at organizing tournaments and everything. So they couldn't have gotten a better person. And I say this literally all the time, not to gas you up, but actually to gas you up. You're probably the best person to go to for organizing events.
I definitely appreciate that.
Literally, we've played in so many tournaments, and I felt like you were probably one of the nicest and easiest persons to talk to. So I just want to thank you.
I try not to come across as an ass most of the time.
Qrissy be gassing you in the group chat.
I do be gassing you. I'm like, Mazida's got us. Come on. Yeah. But no, it's cool to know your backstory and how you got started. But what were your thoughts on Caldera and the state of Warzone at the moment? Because it's definitely made a big change in my opinion. I feel yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I just feel not many. I feel people are kind of moving away from Caldera, even the casuals.
A lot of people are moving to Rebirth in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've definitely noticed a big shift in play of, players, even just, all the Warzone players I follow on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. A lot of gameplay has started moving to Rebirth.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Caldera. It's a little bit more my play style personally as I think I'm really sweaty, but I'm still a casual type of level play. So I enjoy Caldera. It plays at a nice pace. There's a couple obvious issues that, we don't have to dive into, but there's going to be issues like that with any, large game when a lot of the team is working remotely. So as of Caldera as far as I'm concerned on it, I love the map. I love the way it plays. I'm a big fan all around.
Yeah, I personally like Caldera as well. I do. No, I like Caldera.
Yeah, the way Haley and I looked at Qrissy just then.
No, okay, listen. No, stop.
Qrissy actually, when Caldera first came out, I was having a breakdown about it, and I actually cried the first day it came out because I was like, this is the end of Warzone. Like, we're done. We're gonna have to go to Apex or something. And I was like crying about it all week. And Qrissy put out a tweet, and she was like, you know what? Like, I'm really enjoying Caldera. Like, I think it's a great change of pace. Like, and this week actually, we played in a tournament 2 days ago. And she, after the tournament, went and retweeted that tweet from literally like 4 months ago, 3 months ago, and said, "Whoa, who tweeted this?" Like,
okay, first of all, I was referring to our lobbies just being dead. That was what I was referring to. The map itself, I like playing.
You're telling me you don't get bored on Caldera?
No, let me finish. I like playing Caldera competitively. That's what I like about Caldera.
I would agree with that. I feel like pubs is pretty boring.
Yeah, like pubs. Watching it competitively is also very fun.
Yeah,
it plays very well for the end viewer. You know, the 2v2 kill races are always a blast to watch. So that's another reason I kind of feel I'm in love with the map.
Do you think that Caldera runs better for 2v2s, like entertainment-wise, than Verdansk?
I do, but I think only because it's got that new factor.
Yeah.
You know, Verdansk came out and we played it so many times. We played so many iterations of it. So when Caldera came out, it was just, you know, the new girl at school. Everybody wanted to be friends with that.
Right.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. But like, where do we see the future of Warzone going from like Caldera? Because
I personally hope more customs.
Custom matches?
I hope that there's going to be big changes in customs. Just, you know, coming from an Apex competitive side of things, knowing what tools are out there, being able to see some of those implemented into Warzone would keep this community growing at such a substantial rate. It would be mind blowing.
True. For what example? Like
so some of the spectator tools, custom codes that are, you know, whitelisted so we don't have random people joining our lobbies, like, you know, fake I'm Angelica, who has plagued every single tournament since the beginning of 2020.
Wait, really?
Wait, what?
There's an account fake. It's I'm Angelica, but it's a fake account of somebody who just finds his way into custom lobbies all the time. He's just one of the many nuisances that are out there in the tournament space.
People are wild.
So weird.
People are wild.
I think we already knew.
How did people not notice that? That's wild. I know how I'm getting into tournaments I'm not invited to.
I'm changing my name to Aiden. I'm changing my name to Aiden. But like, why is Aiden going 0-4? Aiden has broken his leg. No, okay. I like simple things being implemented like into customs, like whitelist codes for that. Like that makes sense. Yeah, I would like to see that too. And hopefully, like the viewership grows. I feel like it's just come to a halt. I don't know what's going on. I feel like Caldera is. I don't know. I don't want to say it dying. Is it? I don't know.
It feels, for me personally, right now, for someone that was always an advocate for the big map over Rebirth, it feels like Caldera, or like the amount of players on the big map, is like lower than ever.
Really?
But I don't know. It's
more. But do you think that about viewership as well?
You think that there's more players playing Caldera than?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like actually being alive in the game. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No, I feel like no one's playing it anymore. Like even NA servers don't pop the mornings. Like it's hard to get a game. It's kind of rough. It's kind of rough.
Hopefully, it makes a return because I don't want Warzone to die.
I don't know.
I definitely don't want Caldera to die.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, right? Are they going to bring out a new map every year?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Or do they?
I kind of revisited our initial statement. When did Warzone come out? So it came out March 10th of 2020.
Wow.
So that being said, we did almost play on Verdansk for a solid 2 years. So just shy of 2 years.
Oh.
So if they keep kind of, suit with that, we'll probably see some changes to Caldera, whether or not they bring Caldera up to, the late 80s to the current, if whatever the next title is going to be, if they implement some new features from that. So, probably another year at the very least on Caldera, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. True. They changed like the times. That would be cool. changing it to the 80s and just it's still a bush, and then just buildings.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or just changing to anything in general.
I feel like this is completely off topic, sort of, but I feel like they need to blow up the volcano.
That'd be cool.
Like they did with Stadium. As soon as the map came out, I said it the first day, I was like, they need to blow this up so that people can rotate around the map.
That would actually be cool.
Like they did with Stadium. Really cool. They need to blow it up and then put like a position of interest in the middle, and then the map would flow so well.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine lava coming out, cool. And you had to run away from the lava or you die.
Just like an actual in-game threat. That would be really cool.
That would be cool. I actually wouldn't mind that. That'd be dope.
It'd be like Krampus, but like a whole wave of Krampus coming down the mountain. It'd be great.
You turn around and not only the storm is chasing you, but freaking lava. Holy.
That'd be horrible.
That would not be fun.
I think it'd be fun to see, but not playing it.
Imagine being in a 2v2 and dying to lava.
That would suck.
That'd be down horrendous.
No, they need to get rid of the planes, bro.
No, they've nerfed the planes now.
Wait, they nerfed it?
Yeah. Didn't you know?
When?
I don't know, some other day. But when people in planes, I don't think they get aimbot.
Confirm this? I don't think.
Remember when we were in that tournament the other day, Qrissy, and we died to the planes?
No, honestly, we should just call hacker on that one because it's been nerfed.
Are you sure?
I don't think.
I'm not sure. I heard someone say it in a stream.
What? She's listening to Twitch chat.
No. Twitch chat. Someone jumped in the plane and they were trying to shoot and they're like, "Oh yeah, it has been nerfed."
What if they were just bad with it, like me?
No, it was Blatz.
Who's that?
Blast.
Isn't it Blatz?
What? Wait, what did you just call it? Are you talking about Racine?
Blatz. Oh, B-L-A-Z-T.
B-L-A-Z-T?
What's his name?
Blast.
Oh.
Dude.
Moving on. Why do I think his name was Bloods? Oh my god. We're cutting that out. I don't like getting people's names wrong. moving on.
Flats. Okay. Call him.
Mazida, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
This is just how we are when we put the podcast. We're just wilding out all the time. Okay. But what are your thoughts like on the community, Warzone community as a whole, and your personal favorite content creators? We're calling you out.
A very loaded question.
It is.
I don't actually have like a set group of like favorite players.
But it's us.
I do, yes. It's naturally you three are the first three I tap.
Exactly.
But honestly, I kind of rotate through a lot of the Warzone community, whether it's during the day and I'm watching streams or whatever the case may be, just so I can, keep up with exactly what's going on in the game without, having to play it 24/7 like everyone in the community. So I don't necessarily have a favorite. I do have a favorite play style, which is very much, that ankle break, slide in through the door and just absolutely stun somebody and they're like looking at you like, what the hell just happened? Yeah. Jowo's movements are a great example of that, of course. The handsome and single Prince movement.
The Prince? Jowo, yeah.
Yes, the Prince of Movement, absolutely. So I don't have a favorite player, but that would be more of my favorite style, and that tends to be what I, find myself watching or tabbing while I'm working.
No, like that. Cool. I agree with that. I like watching very sweaty. When I see someone's movement and they're like doing this, I get so excited. I'm like, I want to do that.
That's what will draw me into a stream with like anything going on. If I'm scrolling through Twitter and you post a clip and I'm like, wow, that movement was like fire. Like all of a sudden I'm in your stream, whether you see me or not, I'm watching and just learning and yeah. So that's more of a play style. Yeah, cracked movement is definitely my favorite go-to.
Yeah, me too. I have, if I were to stream, that's
what I'm looking for as well. But also like energy as well. Like I like watching people who have like really big personalities, like Hector or like yeah.
Rapal's great example because I could watch somebody break ankles all day, but if you're breaking ankles and you're just like sitting there like a zombie, I guess that takes a
no
bit of a watch value.
Sorry, go.
That being said, have you ever had a bad interaction with like a player or a content creator? You don't have to use a name.
I have had quite a few actually across my past year. It kind of varies case by case. A lot of it is just misdirected frustration at something that had taken place. Like, a hacker reset that, wasn't approved for various reasons, or, if I'm the bad guy and I'm giving out zeros because people didn't read the rules for a custom match, things along that line.
I see.
I've had players get short. I've gotten short with players, but it's just all just misplaced, really. So I would say overall, truly interacting, I would say no, I have not had a bad interaction.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. Like you expected. Like if you think of any competitive like sport, obviously people are gonna get grumpy when it comes to like rules or like if they've done something wrong, but they don't want to admit it.
Like if you didn't read a rule set and you get pulled up on it,
you shouldn't get angry.
You can't get
mad, but people do.
It is what people do. So it's you just you expect it. Like we have events all the time, and you plan for the best and just kind of always have that lingering thought that you may lose a friend or whatever. But everybody's pretty calm normally when you tell them, hey, look, you broke a rule, like clear as day. Like I have a clip of you saying you're breaking this rule. Like you can't argue about this.
Yeah, 100%.
The clip.
We got the clip. We got you.
Caught in 4K, it's kind of
hard. So would you say the Warzone community is overall quite positive? Like
I would say, oh god.
Compared to other games?
Yeah, compared to other games.
What was the other game that you said that you were working with? Was it
Apex?
So I work with Apex.
Right?
Apex and Warzone are my two primary ones. They're very, very different communities. Apples and oranges across the board. The Warzone community knows how to shake off a loss a little bit better, I feel.
Okay.
But they also are the first people on Twitter, that are keyboard warriors.
Yeah, bunch of keyboard warriors.
We'll burn a witch at the stake in the Warzone community very quickly with no proof of anything, and it is different in other communities, but that comes as being part of the Warzone community. As a player that you just don't make negative waves. Just get out there and grind and put your name in front of people.
Mm-hmm. True. Speaking of tournaments, do you have any future big tournaments that can be announced on today's podcast, or is it all secret?
Most of the stuff I work on is pretty secret, unfortunately, until everything goes live. We do have a lot in the pipeline for this year here at Boom.
That is so cool.
I'm booking events as of right now into April and early May. So we have a lot planned, a lot of dates locked down, and a lot to come in 2022.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That's so exciting. So who gets invites?
I was looking at it and I was like, here you go. I'm actually kind of curious, how does the invite list work? Like, is there a set out list where like a certain people get invited every single time and then you guys go forward from there? Or is it like completely new people every time?
So there's 100 different methods as to kind of who gets invites for things that come down to what are our goals for the event. If our goals are to get as many eyes as possible on the event, we'll look to, a specific set of, content creators that we're looking to pull in. If our goal is to kind of mix that up, like with what we do here in our Rising Stars program, where you're playing against pros as more of like Warzone amateurs, we'll kind of mix the field a little bit. So there's no set, methodology to some of it. To some of it, it's very thought out. We'll spend a couple days as a team, talking over who gets the first wave of invites, who gets the second wave of invites, etc.
Right.
So I know that doesn't really answer anything. It just kind of
it sort of does.
It does. In the back of my mind, I thought it was just like one list of like, say like 25 players that got invites every single time, and then maybe you went from there. But that
then to see how they get it.
It depends on whatever the end goal of the event is. If it's to get eyes on, like I said, we'll use one list. If there's other goals, we'll kind of tailor it to that.
Is there a blacklist?
Oh, dude, she's all like,
nah, come on, there's gotta be a blacklist. There's gotta be. There's
there's a blacklist on Netflix that I highly recommend.
Mazida ain't letting none now. That's interesting. Like, yeah, I thought the same thing as Nat. Like, you'd have a list and you just invite those guys, and then if they don't say yes, then you just keep going to other people. No, the only reason we ask, right, is because we've in the past been told that, like, we can't play in tournaments because of where we live.
Yes. Never from Boom. I've never had it from Boom.
Yeah.
But I have had it from others. Companies that host tournaments. And I've literally been told that there's, like, a set list that just basically goes out. Sends out invites to every single time. So I was
if there is a set list, whoever is running those events, my email's in my bio on Twitter. If you can send that over, I'm not doing something right.
I thought that was going in a different direction.
But no, it's like I said, it's all based on the event. It comes down to who's running the event. Sometimes newer tournament organizer may just kind of fall onto a list that's, kind of predetermined at least.
Yeah.
So he knows or she knows what direction to go into. But
yeah. No, that's fair enough. I mean, I don't think. Anyways, I will move on. I was gonna say something. No, it's fine. What are your thoughts on people who say there's rigged brackets?
I've been very curious about this one.
Okay.
I've been very curious about this one.
So we've received numerous thoughts on people thinking that brackets are rigged. No, brackets are not rigged. If we generate the bracket randomly on our website, it is indeed random.
Yeah.
If we plug in, to a specific order based on, a sponsor's request of wanting to see, certain matchups in round one, that's about as far as that goes. We're not rigging brackets by any mean, but let's say we want to get as many eyes into round one as possible. We're probably going to put Tommy and Almond against Rated and Aiden and bring in as many eyes as possible for the first round of something.
Wow.
If it was per se If it was per se like a 32 team 2v2, so first round is a one and done, would you still allow, say, like the sponsor of the tournament to make the changes for the first round? Because would that not be unfair, especially if it's a BO1? Because that would mean either Raiders team or Tommy's team gets out.
So in anything that starts off in a best of one, at least in our 32 team events, I try and pair teams based on geolocation, because I'm not going to have an EU team playing on NA host, in a one and done and then be out into the losers bracket automatically.
Sure.
So sometimes we do base brackets on, geolocations so that people have at least similar ping or nothing too crazy like what you guys play on daily.
See, that's fair. And I like that. Because I just want to mention, like, you do that, right? And you've actually in the past implemented a rule for us when we've played that if we've versed an EU team, that we have an NA middleman, which makes so much sense and is fair. And I really appreciate that, because rarely we get.
Mazida was the first person to ever agree to that.
Yeah.
I've asked for it in so many tournaments.
Winter Alice also does.
I haven't played in Winter's tournaments yet, but I've played in so many tournaments hosted by other companies, and I've reached out and they've been like, no. Like, literally just straight up no. And so we've been forced to play on like 350 ping onwards, which is insanely
this is
unfair.
for EU players.
I understand like wanting to, host for host EU and NA, but when you have people from literally opposite sides of the world, I feel like, and you're inviting like both, players from both sides, I feel like you need to compensate for both.
I feel like especially when you're invited. If they're inviting Australian content creators, ANZ, I should say, or OC, content creators to be in your tournaments, you should make it fair for them, right? Does that not make sense?
That's like when Nat brought it to my attention. That was my first thought is, this makes absolute sense. Like, we're inviting you as players to come and compete in our event. why wouldn't we allow you the same advantage that an EU versus an NA host has?
It made the experience so much better as well.
It made even more sense. Yeah,
it did. It really took a lot of stress off because I was like, we don't have to plan 300 ping. Like,
yeah, dude, I literally woke up and I was like, oh no, 350 ping for me today.
It's the best.
It is the best. But yes, like speaking on that whole thing, like, do you find that people try and pitch you against other like companies that kind of do similar things that you do?
All the time, day in and day out.
Really?
I get tagged in random memes on Twitter. I get sent random memes on Twitter. Uncivil Queen is pretty good at doing those. She makes me laugh every once in a while in our mentions. So thank you for the laughter. But yes, people will go out of their way to, pit the TOs against each other. Sometimes they'll go against and, try and get the Boom staff against each other. And it's just all in good fun, of course, but, definitely worth the laugh.
Yeah.
Always in good fun?
I always take it as in good fun at least. So
I feel like it'd be bad if it wasn't.
Yeah. No, I see that though, because even like when I was competing in like in other tournaments and then on BoomTV's tournaments, I would hear like people say, this is why is better, or like, So yeah,
it's always somebody's better.
People, you know what? I feel like when people say that, it's so funny. They're like, "Oh, X and X is so much better at hosting tournaments. Like, no respect for this company because we broke a rule."
Oh my god, sorry.
And it's like, it's like, as soon as another tournament comes around, they'll be like, "Oh, but pick me. I want to play. I want to play."
I didn't say that.
I always find that stuff so silly. Yeah, let me in.
Never said it.
I want invite. Put me on the invite list.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to see. I think everyone just says things in the moment, and that just goes to what Mazida was saying earlier about how people like to misplace their, I wouldn't say hate, just like their frustrations on like the wrong thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think blaming the admins is not blame.
Oh yeah, it's never like.
They shouldn't blame the admin.
Like I had an issue once with a tree. And I'm pretty sure Mazida stepped in and like handled it so well.
I remember that tree very well.
What tree?
That tree, because people couldn't see the tree, but I could see that tree. No, he handled it so well. We ended up losing L. But
not bad.
So you didn't get a reset now.
The whole last full reset.
Oh, it was a funky situation, but no, Maz handled it so well.
And
everyone was pretty happy.
Tree, I'm still upset with to this day.
Well, the tree's gone. We're never going to see that tree again.
Goodbye, Verdansk. Goodbye, tree. I'm over it.
The tree that isn't even there.
Yeah. Like hearing about all these tournaments and what you've got planned for like the year, I'm like so happy. Like every time I think of NA, I'm like, y'all living the dream. Like that's just what we want.
Qrissy and Haley want to be there.
I do, and I will be there in 5 months.
And I eat facts. Period.
We're going.
You two not.
But nah, she doesn't want to. But like, it's just so nice to see the relationship between like Activision and NA. Like it's just so good, and I feel like it's even gotten better ever since Warzone came out. Like, it's just, you guys have so much support, and it's so nice to see. I just want to know how we could have that same support in our region.
Australia.
Yeah, but I know, like I understand, like we really don't have the player base, right? We don't have the player base to be running tournaments like they do, like, and it doesn't even have to be to that extent.
At least a competitive player base.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough people that want to play competitively.
Well, not even that. I think we do, but we don't have any casuals even. Like,
yeah, we don't have casuals for
we have no lobbies. How are we going to do a 2v2 with no lobbies? And I understand, like, like, why would they want to put money into, But, like, even having customs, like, once a month or something would be nice. Like, we've been doing, the hot drop with them, like, every 3 to 4 months.
Me?
Not Nat.
Yeah,
Nat, one of our biggest Warzone creators in our OCE, not getting invites to our OCE tournaments. Not Nat. Insane. So like, how can we transform our scene? I know we've talked about this before, but like we have Mazida who's like been really involved in the community
alongside NA Activision.
Yeah, like what can we do? What do you think we can do to transform?
What like initiated the positive like relationship you have with NA Activision?
So I don't think there's any real right or wrong answer on this. I think honestly it's more, making voices heard than anything, which I mean just kind of applies to a very generic answer. But I mean, at the end of the day, the eyes are going to be on whatever's going on in that scene currently. So right now, while you may have a small amount of competitors down there, making those competitors stand out is realistically what's going to put eyes in front of Activision at the end of the day, in front of tournament organizers, in front of sponsors, and things along that nature. Knowing that here in NA we could put out a tweet and fill probably 6-7 lobbies without blinking, and knowing that down there in OCE, that's a much harder thing to accomplish.
Yeah.
So it has to essentially stand up to that level of excitement per se, but. I think right now with the track that 2022 is on, I think is a very, very good start.
Sure. So do you think it's very much number driven? Like if you can bring numbers, show them, they'll be like, oh. Or do you think? I
mean, at the end of the day, anything's number driven.
Right.
I mean, as weird as it is, esports is a business, Warzone's a business. So I mean, at the end of the day, what makes sense to invest money into? So showing them a community, a player base, everybody that wants to actively get involved into these tournaments and showing them all of those numbers, it just helps kind of, bolster your case up a little.
Right.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Right. Noted
Keep that in mind.
I mean, even the 2v2 that, Hmay and Qrissy that you guys had run end of the year last year, that was an absolute blast for me over here in NA, despite, staying up all night for the first time in years. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Having those stats to take to Activision, down in OCE and be like, hey, this is what we're doing. Just, again, helps build that case a little.
That's true. And that's just, I feel like what we're trying to achieve. Like, my vision is, like, I feel like in my head for so long, I was like, move to NA. Like, that's the answer. Like, if you want, if you want to compete,
we all went through that. Like, there was nothing going on in Australia. Like, we were trying our best to compete, and then we're waking up at 3-4 a.m. every single
like playing 200 ping lobbies. We went through that phase where we were just like, we got to move to NA. Like, we're playing on this ping, we want to compete. Like, we want to show that we're good and all this. And then, like, I don't know, I feel like I had a revelation like a month or two ago. I was like, how can we replicate NA, or even just like a little bit of it in our region, because I would love to just stay
there's
here.
At least something going on.
Yeah, I would love to just stay home. Like, I don't want to have to move anywhere. Like, I would want to do what I do and not struggle to do it, Like, I want to compete and I want to do all this and not have to, like, get up and die in a freaking to get into finals because of ping, Like,
yeah. I think with everything the way it is too in Warzone, one thing to just kind of remind players, especially, in a region where there's not as many, hosting something simple like an 8-team 2v2 for a $20 buy-in is all the scene needs, whether it's a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis. Any sort of action, like I said, that can bring eyes to the scene and what's going on is going to help.
True.
Mm-hmm. I never thought of doing that, like a week to week. Actually, someone did try that, I think, I recall.
Even starting a relationship with Activision here would be, like, nice. Like, I don't even know the people. Like, I know the ground agency people, but that's as far as it goes.
I'll say, unfortunately, my knowledge is very very NA limited. So
we totally understand. Yeah, 100%. No, we totally understand.
I have one question before you move on. When you speak with Activision, are you speaking to them or are you speaking to an agency in between?
We do speak right with Activision directly.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. Interesting.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'm like very curious of that.
Take out Krampus.
Take out Krampus. Yeah,
Does
Krampus
it
has
work
been gone.
exactly like that?
Well, you put the connections. Hello.
Krampus has been gone and out.
We love Krampus. We
He's
love
our
Krampus.
homie.
All the homies love Krampus.
Yeah.
I personally only saw him a couple of times, so I didn't mind him. But I mean, the clips daily on the timeline of people losing 2v2s to him were.
It was insane. He would chase you like.
It was funny.
I lost a 40 kill game because of Krampus. Like
Oh,
he's.
okay.
All right, let's move on. What would you say your proudest moment is so far with BoomTV? Like your biggest event or like whatever it is.
What was the biggest event last year?
So I did some thinking on this one because I don't necessarily have one. I have three that I'm particularly more proud of than others.
Honestly,
one of them
I love
being my very first premium event that I ran with BoomTV, which was the Dr. Disrespect Game Fuel Code Red, and that was back in April of last year. That was by far one of my favorite memories so far. You know, being able to work with Doc and his team, being able to work with Game Fuel and really put on a great event was just a high point for me. I ran my first Apex Premier event in November, which was one of my second favorite ones, just because I love Apex so damn much. That was a blast working with the team over there at EA. And then my third is actually the Last Dance and Verdansk series that we did.
Oh, that was cool.
Three qualifiers leading up to the $75,000, you know, doing the mailers with the sweatsuits and everything for the captains.
Yeah, that was cool how everyone got that.
Yeah, it was definitely a high point. There was just months and months of planning that went into that. So to go from, you know, the initial call with Activision where they pitched the idea and we kind of went over how we could make it work. Yes, that was an Activision-led project, and we just kind of gave it legs and ran with it. So that would definitely be my third one.
Cool.
Wow.
Damn, I'm moving on there.
So like even you just saying like your top three, right? And like your first one was with like Doc, like the Dr. Disrespect.
That's pretty cool.
That is so cool. And it just goes to show like you're working with like all these like very popular big streamers, and then you also work with like the smallest of the smallest, you know? Like there's no ego.
That is actually one thing that I love about Boom and a couple of other tournaments, how they go out of their way to make sure that smaller streamers and women in gaming are involved.
Yes.
In all the tournaments. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Inclusive and
it's a big part of what we do at Boom is the inclusivity aspect. You know, make sure that those top tier players have their tournaments, make sure that there's tournaments for the not so top tiers. And give them a reason to want to, you know,
keep
grind,
going,
become a top tier player.
Exactly. Wow. That's just so in line with everything that we want to, that we just want to like do.
Do you have any hopes for Warzone later on this year? Like a volcano getting blown up?
I mean, I'm going to kind of steal your idea now with the whole volcano thing.
Tell me it's not genius. They did it with Stadium. You know, I wasn't a fan of the hole in the floor. I fell in there a couple times, maybe broke my legs. But
they did it with Downtown too.
I just feel like right now, I don't know how many people feel like this, but I feel like right now that is the only thing stopping like fast pace on the map. And I don't know if that's what they were looking for, but end zone, like on the corner, like the side of a mountain is really hard. Like, I don't know, hear me out.
I think
not
even that, just like being on that peak area is so bad.
Yeah. I don't mind peak. Peak is fun to land on.
No, not like the hills on it. Like if you're fighting there, that's shots.
Yeah, you slip down.
That's so annoying.
I don't mind landing on the top. It's fun.
And then you get to jump off. That's the best part.
But I just feel like
jump off to fields.
I feel like right now the entire like all the places, is it places of interest or positions? I don't know. Are all on the outskirts, and so rotating from one side of the map to the other takes a full zone. Whereas before in Verdansk, you could get a helicopter and go across the whole map in like, I don't know, less than half a zone. I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. They could blow it up.
Well, I think it's just because we plays for Vanguard is like the vehicles are really slow. So are we going to say Mazida?
It could also really change up just the way that peak is played too, kind of eliminating the top part of it, and you know you have the ability to open up all sorts of lava-filled caves or whatever the case is underneath.
Imagine
That'd be
that.
dope.
Open up instead of just the 2 tiers of play on peak, so you have top peak and then down by the buys back there in the little waterfall area, you'd be able to open up an additional layer and have, more fun there at peak and just kind of, like you said, make it more easily traversable.
Like imagine like an end zone, it's customs, it's inside the volcano tunnels, like Iron is just living his life. Like, he's playing and he's right down, simply winning the match. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that's actually something I'm excited. I'm excited for the solo dolos in Caldera.
Qrissy loves the solo dolos.
They're the best.
But like, imagine in Caldera, like all the bushes you can sit in. You can sit in the crack of peak, like. Dude, that's
also,
gonna be fun.
Maybe no birthers, so the end game would be so interesting.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, and the cars are really bad, so people wouldn't really use the cars.
Everything gonna be Vanguard? Like competitive is just strictly Vanguard?
Yeah, I'm
playlist?
curious to that.
Is it gonna stay that way?
I hope that it stays that way personally. I love the way that Vanguard, Royale plays.
Yeah,
I do
same.
love VR trios, but Vanguard Royale just, I don't know, to me it's more smooth. I get that people, paid $40 for skins and they want to use them, but I mean, It's a new Call of Duty, it's a new year, so we do have to move forward a little bit and stop relying on the crutches that we used in, Verdansk.
Yeah, so when Verdansk first had the integration with Cold War, I had actually forgotten that during the integration it made all the guns available, like, normal BR. And so when we went on to Vanguard and there was normal BR and Vanguard mode, I completely forgot that normal BR is what we were probably supposed to be playing. Yeah. And the Vanguard mode was like, maybe, I don't know if it is, but a limited time mode sort of thing.
To
like,
just get
I'm pretty
guns
sure
leveled.
normal BR is like how it's supposed to be, like everything in one, which is what I think Warzone is, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot about that, but I like the
I think
what's it called? Vanguard.
I think Vanguard got popular, and so that's why they kept it, right? Was it? Like, I felt like it wasn't meant to be a main
I was told
thing.
it was a limited time mode originally, so I'm not actually sure.
I think it was even promoted as a limited time mode right off.
I
the
think
bat.
it was, yeah.
I'm 99% sure I saw that.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it got so popular that they kept it.
I think it's the buy sale.
I mean, it's very similar to the way Iron Trials was. I mean, they put that out as an LTM, and everyone went crazy for how much fun it was.
Oh, true. That is true.
I would love to see some more tournaments on Iron Trials. I wonder when they're going to bring that back. I miss that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really play Iron Trials.
Yeah, you girls
wish
missed
I
out.
did.
You girls
I played
really
a little
missed
bit,
out.
but then I was like...
I don't think I did because I always played on NA, so
I was grinding
Iron
at
Trials
the
on
end.
NA.
It played out very, very well.
She's a grinder.
Damn.
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 I personally feel like this year's going to be really good for us, like content-wise, even though I'm like dying at this game at night, like wanting to just do wages and do tournaments. But like tournament-wise, I'm just going to try and get involved with everything that I can, simply, I feel like that's the most fun I've had like on this game. It's just playing tournaments or playing competitive lately, so yeah. I'm really happy that...
It's always fun to watch too, which is great. I mean, I'll go out of my way to watch a streamer who's in a tournament before somebody who's just playing casually all day. So,
100%.
The tournaments, the better.
True. But also it takes, I don't know, like as a streamer, I like streaming tournaments, but having those pub days, like I go, because I just like
very
reading
much
chat.
needed.
Yeah, very much. Like
Yeah.
I think once a
definitely
week is
needed.
good. A tournament once a week on like 200 ping is good.
I find it hard actually to play pubs after I play a tournament.
No, I don't have the urge to. I literally want to get off.
struggle.
You just want to play 20s.
Yeah, like I just
need to justify why I died so early on in the game. Like, I go play some pubs and then I feel a lot better about myself.
True. Actually, we should do a little recap on this week on just like personal things, right? We didn't do that at the start like we usually do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tournaments. Nat won one. Nat won a tournament. She said, "Woo!"
It was kind of an accident.
It was kind of an accident.
We were gonna forfeit the second round. Sorry, Maz. We usually do this at the start, and we
you're
we
good.
totally skipped over. You can talk about what we're talking about. That's fine. Like, Mazida said to talk about it.
It was hosted by Casmic Gaming. It was a 2v2. And second, we had to wait an hour and a half for our first game. And then we played our first map, and then Aaron's BattleNet broke. And so we had to sit there for 55 minutes or something.
Oh my God.
And then by the time he finally got on, I was ready to forfeit. We were on God about to get out of there.
Yeah.
And people you were meant to be versing drop out. That's why you had to wait so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a team that was put forward originally, and I feel like they should have been just brought back into the bracket because they had a bye first round. Anyway, we went to loser bracket, wrote out loser bracket. I was literally, we were all in the group chat. I messaged the group chat. I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to forfeit.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, forfeit?
I was like,
what are you forfeiting for?
And then, I actually tried and there was no one available. But we ended up writing out loser bracket and then winning.
Yeah, you won the whole thing.
and I messaged the group chat. I was like, hey guys, we won.
Dude, I woke up and I was like, yo, let's go. When I saw you said you forfeited, I thought you meant forfeit the whole thing. I was like, oh my God.
We were going to do. And then...
Definitely not.
And then we won. Actually, I was going to mention this earlier when we were talking about our servers dying. You'll probably find this a little bit funny, Maz. In NA tournaments, the VPNs are banned. Obviously.
Yeah.
So our BO3 for the final actually started at 1 a.m. and we had no service. So we actually had to play the final at NA.
Hey, what happened?
You still can't get away from the 200 ping.
Wait, what happened? Did you have to VPN to NA?
Crim, we tried one on our servers. No servers, got a Singapore server with 35 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, literally the players wasn't even going up. It was going down. It was going down 35. So Crim was like, let me whip out the VPN and get us to NA. And we're like, okay. And so we played on NA for the final. Which
sucks for Australia.
You know what?
Really goes to show.
I feel like, I was talking to Aaron about this. When I have previously played in NA, hosted tournaments, when we wake up at 4 a.m., I go into those tournaments under the mindset of, I have to play on 200 ping, I'm playing on NA servers, this stings, desync and all that nonsense. And I go into it, focused on that. And I think when I'm playing, it affects my gameplay. Because when we played 100%. When we played that final, after the tournament finished and we were just in Discord, I was like, I forgot we were lagging. It was, I don't know, it does. Interesting.
It plays with your mental because you have to mentally prepare. You play different to how you normally would. I don't rush, if I see 4 people, I don't rush them on 200 ping. I have to play different,
we didn't play any different. And
that's
what... The desync paid off for once, but I just thought that was super interesting because I wasn't focused on it.
Yeah. Well, that's it's nice to know, you got to win for a tournament that, an OCE tournament. There's more, OCE tournaments being, made in our region, so it's nice to see them actually being, what's the word, done. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of what to say. No,
I didn't have any word in my mind. I was like, they were that long. Well, that being said, did you host any tournaments this week, Maz?
This week actually was pretty quiet as far as events go. This is the first week in a long time I have not hosted a single thing, not even a scrim this week.
Is that kind of relaxing? Is that almost like a vacation kind of week?
Or do you miss them?
Or do you miss them immediately?
I actually do. I miss tournament days. Every single day that's not a tournament day is not as much fun.
That's
but
good.
that also means you're
honestly
working
good.
on a lot of cool stuff behind the scenes or, catching up on stuff. So in one way, shape, or form, it's definitely not a vacation, but it's building up towards, the next event.
Cool.
That is dope.
Awesome. This was fun.
Thanks for
coming on, Maz.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much
for
coming
coming
on.
on.
It was
we appreciate you.